A very good evening and happy new month. The first day of August is here and we bring you the UBC News Tonight, the first bulletin of this month. My name is Wadulo Arnold. Mark and Dorothy Namuyomba is on sign language. Without further ado, let's get straight into today's top stories and then, let's see where we go from there. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has encouraged unmarried youth to emulate the good example of the Right Reverend Wilson Kaseka, the Bishop of Luwero Diocese. In a message delivered by the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, Museveni says that Bishop Kiseka is a clear testimony of a peaceful marriage, and that's how it should be. The Prime Minister represented the President as the Bishop of Luwero, Wilson Kiseka, was celebrating 25 years of holy matrimony. UBC has the highlights.
This morning, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, was welcomed at St. Mark's Cathedral of the Anglican Church of Uganda in Luwero Diocese to mark 25 years of holy matrimony for Reverend Wilson Kiseka, the Bishop of Luwero Diocese.
Njagala nnyo kwebaza olw'omukolo guno n'enteekateeka yonna n'okwebaza abalabizi ssebo Katikkiro nsanyusa okuva e Mengo mwannyinaze Katikkiro wa Uganda nsanyuse mwannyinaze mwebale nnyo mwebale taata ne maama basenninde nsanyuse.
The Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Kazimba Mugalu, was the main celebrant.
Omukisa ogwabeereko ngusabidde abawala abatannaba kufumbirwa Mukama aggulewo enzigi. Ngusabidde abalenzi abatannawasa Mukama aggulewo enzigi. Oba eriyo omulenzi ewuwo oba omuwala atannafumbirwa yogera erinnya lye Mukama awo mpola mpola mu mutima gwo. Abantu abo tubaweeyo eri Katonda. Ngusabidde abantu abali mu maka n'abaana bazadde naye tebalongoosanga bufumbo. Abasajja buli kiseera tubabuuza nga tolongoosa myaka 10-15 nkyamwetegereza.
The Kingdom of Buganda was represented by the Speaker of Rukiko, Patrick Luwaga Mogombole.
Obuweereza bw'omulabirizi Wilson Kiseka eri ekkanisa bwa mugaso nnyo eri Obuganda ate ne Uganda yonna okutwaliza awamu. Obwakabaka bwa Buganda bukubiriza abantu bonna okukulembeza amaka gaabwe kubanga gwe musingi gw'obulamu obw'omuntu n'enkulaakulanya y'eggwanga lyonna okutwalira awamu. Tujjukire nti empisa ennungi zitandikira mu maka.
In a message delivered by the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, Museveni called upon unmarried youth to emulate the good examples of Right Reverend Wilson Kiseka.
You have set a footprint for our children to follow by staying together. You are now an inspiration and a torchbearer to all the young couples.
Museveni says Bishop Kiseka is a clear testimony of how a peaceful marriage should be.
With many marriages breaking up just a few hours, a few weeks, a few years, it is indeed a landmark and a remarkable achievement. This indeed is a remarkable achievement, so we share in your joy today.
The President donated cash to the celebrants to help them procure 10 cows.
Oweekitiibwa President ampeerezza ente 10 bagende balunde ate mugaggawale mugundagunde.
Right Reverend Bishop Kiseka and his wife upon this celebration of 25 years, and of course they have been very good examples to all of us that are married. When we get married, we need to understand what keeps a strong family. It is always patience, perseverance, trust, and love for one another. But most of all, having God as your pillar in your home. Once you have God, nothing will ever fail.
And in more UBC News tonight, Uganda has unveiled a monument in memory of Israeli Commander Lieutenant Colonel Yonatan Netanyahu at Entebbe International Airport, where he was killed during the 1976 Operation Entebbe Hostage Rescue Mission. The ceremony was presided over by the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, attended by government officials, diplomats, and invited guests. The memorial marks a site historically associated with the operation and is intended as a place of remembrance and reflection.
Today, 1st August 2026, the Chief of Uganda Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, has unveiled the monument of the late Yonatan Netanyahu, who was killed on a rescue mission on July 4th, 1976 at Entebbe Airport. The monument was officially unveiled in memory of Lieutenant Colonel Yonatan Netanyahu, who was killed while leading the 1976 mission in which more than 100 hostages were rescued. The operation remains one of the most widely discussed military rescue missions in modern history. The Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, spoke about the growing cooperation between Uganda and Israel, particularly in agriculture, technology and innovation, saying that Israel's expertise has contributed to Uganda's development, and he expressed Uganda's commitment to strengthening cooperation between the two countries.
They occurred during one of the darkest periods in our country's history. Today, however, Uganda is a constitutional democracy committed to peaceful coexistence and constructive engagement with the international community. The friendship between Uganda and Israel extends well beyond the events of 1976. Our two countries have enjoyed good relations for a long time now, founded on mutual respect and practical cooperation. Israeli experts made important contribution to Uganda's early national development in areas such as agriculture, infrastructure, education, healthcare, and defense.
The monument now stands as a tribute to courage, sacrifice, and preserves the history of Operation Entebbe, while reflecting the continued diplomatic relationship between Uganda and Israel.
Today, this memorial stands not only in remembrance of a distinguished soldier, but also as a tribute to the enduring values he embodied: courage in the face of danger, unwavering commitment to protecting innocent lives, and steadfast devotion to duty. As we gather here, we also respectfully remember the innocent hostages who lost their lives during those tragic events. They were Jean-Jacques Maimoni, Pascal Cohen, Ida Borokovich, and Dora Bloch. Dora Bloch was killed after the operation. She was in Mulago Hospital.
Olive Bilungi, the Deputy Director General of the Uganda Civil Aviation Authority, says the memorial adds historical significance to Entebbe International Airport, noting that the site attracts tourists, drawing both local and international visitors, while the airport continues to expand as a global aviation gateway.
But also recognizing the significance of this site, Uganda Civil Aviation Authority made a deliberate decision to preserve the old terminal building, including the visible marks that bear witness to the events that unfolded here 50 years ago. So this monument today, we are proud to note that Entebbe International Airport, CDF and members here, continues to undergo a huge transformation. We're in the final stages of completing the new terminal building, which will enable us to increase the passenger management from 1.5 million to 3.5 million passengers annually. We believe that with this site will connect, resonate with the new terminal building, and will be in position to host guests that come in a more efficient, more professional, and more satisfying passenger experience.
Representatives from the Israel delegation welcomed the continued cooperation between Uganda and Israel.
General, I cannot close this speech without quote our President, His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who summarized our relationship between our two countries in the most perfect way. He said, through this sacrifice, they turn a sad situation into another episode of bonding between the Holy Land and the Pearl of Africa.
Winnie Nalusiba reporting for UBC TV.
Zimbabwe district leaders have hailed the transformative leadership of the veteran politician Sam Kutesa, who recently retired from active politics. Kutesa, a long-serving former Minister for Foreign Affairs, was instrumental in the creation of Zimbabwe, and his leadership contributed to the improvements in the sectors like education, religion and health of the district. The authorities have named a road and district administration block after Sam Kutesa as a gesture to honor his legacy. Let's take a look.
We continue to pray for you.
Veteran politician Sam Kutesa has been honored by the district leaders and community of Zimbabwe. Kutesa recently announced his retirement from active politics, which stretches back from the golden days of the Constituent Assembly. The former long-serving Minister for Foreign Affairs represented Uganda at both local and international level, where he served as the President of the United Nations General Assembly. Kutesa used his leadership positions to influence developments in various sectors, including education, health, and religion in the Zimbabwe district team.
Ekyokubiri twakolanga mazima nga tetulimba bantu, toyinza kulembera abantu ng'obalimba. Mumpulira era mwabagala obukulembeze mbeereko mazima.
We thank God for his life and his family, colleagues and people who have supported him throughout his public service and commitment for serving Uganda in different capacities over many years. He started his political ambition in 1970s and later supported the struggle, the liberation struggle, including recruiting myself as a recruit to Ashande by then, now General Ashande to now.
Zimbabwe District Council agreed to name a road and an administration block after Sam Kutesa to keep his legacy flourishing even in his retirement.
So the people of Zimbabwe came together and mobilized some resources. They used those resources to buy gifts for him. And in this case, it was the 12 beautiful Ankore cows, which is a beautiful cultural symbol.
In 1993, Sam Kutesa stood as a Constituent Assembly delegate for Mawogola County and won. In 1996, he became a Member of Parliament for Mawogola County under the new constitutional dispensation, and in 1997, he worked with the fellow local to carve Zimbabwe district out of Masaka district, an effort that succeeded in extending government services closer to the people. In 1996, he was appointed Minister of State for Planning and Economic Development, and in 2001, he was appointed as a Minister of State for Finance in charge of investment. In 2004, he was appointed Minister of Foreign Affairs, a docket held until 2021. He remained the representative of the people of Mawogola for 28 years and retired from active politics after 40 years between 1980 to 2021.
Honorable General Wasande will represent him,
and then our minister designate.
The State Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Fiona Nyamutoro, has urged Ugandans to embrace clean and renewable energy and making them efficient through technology, and these ought to be environmentally friendly. Nyamutoro was presiding over the launch of a Council of Women in Energy and Environment Leaders, that is acronymed as C-WHEEL 2026 to 2028 Strategic Roadmap launch. I do beg your pardon. Let's take a short commercial break and return with more news.
The parent is Tuliahewa Dixon. And the child is Tuliahewa Esther.
Kambera gwete kwa mchisha ngo isha watu yahewa Esther wahangura school fees ngeni na hateja shana mashemero kwa konka MTN momo eberewo mbeni nyegasta igana kaga ni 5 sta manana 0 hash kushashuro mwana school fees takoma nyo muchisheri zagwisho wanje ninga nchaka ngwasa kuzo wawe mwebare munonga.
In Uganda, mornings don't begin with sunrise. They begin with courage. One man, one factory that has refused to stay silent. With one spark of courage, a chain of prosperity begins. When one Ugandan stands up, the nation moves. Pearl Bank. Grow. Prosper.
Step into elegance. Step into confidence. Step into La Vie Boutique. Located at Grand Imperial Hotel, Shop 6 and 8, right behind Bank of Uganda. La Vie Boutique brings you high-class corporate and casual wear for men. From sharp designer suits and crisp shirts to stylish casual t-shirts, tracksuits, shoes and accessories, we've got everything to make you stand out. Call us on 0772 419 181 or 0705 555 558. La Vie Boutique, where class meets style.
What if accessing government services became easier, faster, and closer to you? Introducing Service Uganda Centers, a new initiative designed to bring key government services closer to the people under one convenient location. Less movement from office to office, less unnecessary travel, better access to services and information. At the Service Uganda Centers, citizens will be able to access national ID services, passport processing, business registration, land and revenue services, and more, all in one convenient location. Whether you are in the city or upcountry, Service Uganda Centers are being designed with you in mind. Enjoy faster service, professional guidance, and a seamless customer experience. This is an initiative of the Government of Uganda, digitally powered by the National Information Technology Authority Uganda, NITA, under the Uganda Digital Acceleration Project Government Network. Service Uganda Centers, bringing services closer to the people.
Alo.
Nsebo mwami mukasa.
Mutyaneyo.
Yono broka.
Yenze broka wa mayumba.
Bangambye ne nyumba za mwenunjiko.
Kituufu. Oyagala bisenge bimeka?
Nga bisatu.
Ebeyi bagigambye?
Bangambye saa 5.
Nedda ssebo eno zaali nnyamuuko.
Lwaki?
Anti langi gye tusiigisa ya mulembe. Kati ne valiyo ekitundu yalinnya.
Musiigisa ki?
Global Paints.
Mutya.
Ku siiringi tukozesa Global Mat. Ate munda ne tukozesa Global Silk Vinyl.
Singa kwetaga wabweru.
Wabweru tukozesa Global Weather Coat Emulsion.
Kusiiga gye musiiga. Ogwo omutindo okusasulira sente zonna.
Guli wumite.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. And now in more news, over 800 Ugandans will get internationally certified skills to meet job demand in the oil and gas industry as Uganda readies for her first oil production. The commitment was made by the officials from Sinopec International Petroleum Services Company in Uganda at the opening of the Fiber Optic Technology Training Program at the Uganda Industrial Research Institute here in Namamve.
For one to get employed by companies undertaking Uganda's oil, most are required to have papers that are internationally certified. This has forced the companies to take an extra step in re-equipping their students with hands-on skills and internationally recognized skills. The latest students have acquired training in fiber optic technology installation by Sinopec International at Uganda Industrial Research Institute in Namamve.
We are here to launch the Batch 3 training course for the CPF program on the Tilenga project. And this particular batch has 20 Ugandans to train in certified fiber optic installation for the Tilenga project and for other projects that we want to achieve. So we are here to make sure that Ugandans are skilled. So far, we have trained over 600 Ugandans on the CPF Tilenga skilling program. And we hope that in the future, we shall hit our target of 861 Ugandans trained in oil and gas disciplines.
With the skills acquired, the students are not limited to work in Uganda, but across the globe.
Whereas we have a number of schools that do train, I think the leverage we have is that we are trying to align our training with the Fiber Optic Association standards to ensure that the participants are able to get international certification that they can be able to use in Uganda and outside Uganda.
As I said, the organization that I'm representing here is based in the US, Fiber Optic Association. And the certification that these guys will get will be recognized worldwide.
Sinopec International has pledged to skill over 800 students in oil and gas related disciplines.
What we are trying to teach Ugandans is whatever we train in these particular programs are transferable skills. They don't only apply in oil and gas, but they apply in construction, they apply in energy like nuclear, they apply in mining, they apply in, let's just say, electrical companies. So,
students have commented on the companies for the initiative.
And in more news, poverty, child labor, family breakdown and parental neglect continue to push children onto Uganda's streets despite the ongoing rescue and rehabilitation efforts. This was highlighted during the 10th anniversary celebrations of Benjamin House held at its headquarters in Jeka, Kampala. Let's take a look.
At just 22 years old, Mwanguzi Samuel spent more than 8 years living on the streets before being rescued by Benjamin House.
I passed through in a hard life because as a young boy, where to sleep, where to get what to eat. Sometimes I joined the drugs, jet fuel, marijuana and opium. We went to Nachuvobulu, and that's when Benjamin House came in and picked me and took me to vocation school. I learned welding and metal fabrication, and I graduated.
Benjamin House says it has rehabilitated and restored hope to about 100 street-connected children of over the past 10 years.
Our program runs on 4 hours. We run on rescue, then we do rehabilitation that runs a long time. We do reconciliation with their families, and then reintegration. When you bring a child from the street, you're bringing someone usually completely broken. But we introduce them to family. The family setting actually helps them very much. Also very key for us is that we introduce them to the love of Jesus.
We bring a boy from the street, I bring them in a home, and after some time they run back to the street, like they feel the street is the best home for them. Yet for us, we have a saying that every boy deserves to be at home.
The executive directors say the initiative was started to rescue vulnerable children from the streets and give them a chance to rebuild their lives through education, counseling and family integration.
Many of the street children are boys that have been left by so many people that would help them. Reasons being mostly that they are feared. But for us, we stepped into that void to say, if no one is going to come for the boy child, we shall take the bold step and come remove them from the streets.
Officials from Kampala Capital City Authority and others praised the organization's effort and called for stronger family responsibility and community support to prevent more children from ending up on the streets.
We commend them for the good work they are doing, and as KCCA, we pledge to continue working with them. And to the parents out there, please look after your children. These children go through so much when they come to the streets. Some of them die. Actually, most of them die.
We are all products of the environments that we grew up. It doesn't belong to only the mother. A child is raised up by a village.
Stakeholders urged parents and guardians to prioritize the welfare of their children, saying addressing neglect and family breakdown is a key to reducing the number of children living on Uganda's streets. Susan Nabugude for UBC News.
The Bishop of the Arua Catholic Diocese, Sabino Ochan Odoki, has challenged newly ordained priests and deacons to become fearless servants of God, warning them against neglecting the poor while receiving the sacred responsibility of shepherding Christ's flock. UBC has more details.
From joyful hymns to solemn vows, Sacred Heart of Jesus Cathedral Ediofe in Arua came alive as the Roman Catholic Diocese of Arua ordained 9 priests and 7 deacons in a colorful celebration that underscored the growing need for faithful shepherds in the church. Christians traveled from across Uganda and neighboring Kenya to witness the colorful ceremony presided over by Bishop Sabino Chan Odoki. Before the ordination, the candidates shared an emotional company of their parents before being formally presented to the church for lifelong service.
The candidates to the bishop.
Don't be a priest who gives a headache. Headache to fellow priests, headache to Christians, headache to the bishop. Everybody, headache.
In his homily, Bishop Ochan reminded the newly ordained that priesthood is a mission of sacrifice, not privilege. Quoting St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians, he said, preaching gospel is no longer a choice, but an obligation, urging the clergy to remain equipped and ready to serve God's people at all times.
Sometimes we are attracted more to the rich because of the gifts they offer us and neglect the poor. I'm not consulting you, I'm just sending you to any parish. And you cannot come and say, why are you sending me to a poor parish? That is our mission.
He noted that Arua Diocese, one of Uganda's largest Catholic dioceses with about 2.6 million faithfuls, continue to face a growing demand for priests to minister to its expanding population.
Every day when you read the news, you will hear of a lot of harassment, even abduction, torture, and so on. When you come to the families, you will hear about domestic violence. So you are to be the voice of the voiceless. Do you promise respect and obedience to me and my successor?
The solemn ordination then unfolded through the church's ancient rites. One by one, the candidates stepped before the bishop and publicly pledged their obedience to him and his successors. Moments later, they lay prostrate before the altar as the congregation knelt in prayer, a powerful symbol of humility and total surrender to God. The bishop then laid hands on each candidate before anointing the hands of new priests with a sacred chrism, consecrating them for the celebration of the Eucharist and the administration of the sacraments. As the newly ordained exchanged the sign of peace with their fellow clergy, the cathedral erupted in joyful songs, applause and ululation as family members and Christians welcomed the new shepherds into the ministry. Edi Ulwa, UBC News.
And in more UBC News tonight, the Special Presidential Assistant on the Informal Sector, Ian Gumisiriza Jeremiah, has reaffirmed government's commitment to improve the welfare of informal sector workers through social protection and skills development initiatives. Speaking during the official launch of PE Grow offices in Nsanji, Gumisiriza said empowering workers in the informal sector with skills and social protection is key to increasing productivity, creating sustainable livelihoods and improving household incomes.
Gumisiriza was officiating at the pre-grow event in Nsanji, where he pledged his full support and commended the organization for complementing government efforts in transforming
the president has met them before. He met them in Butambara during the campaign trail. He also met them at Kororo when he was celebrating his victory organized by State House Local Content Unit, and he promised that he will meet them to be able to determine how much money he is going to put in their cooperative society so that they can be able to undertake development activities for wealth creation.
He also urged community development officers to closely work with circles and cooperatives instead of frustrating their operations, noting that these groups play a vital role in mobilizing communities, promoting savings, and driving socio-economic transformation.
I want to send this warning to you that before the ministers of local government come to you, Honorable Barama and Honorable Namere, I will come for you personally. I will work with all anti-corruption agencies to make sure that you do not exploit the common people.
Gumisiriza applauded members for various circles for their unity, commitment and determination to improve their well-being through collective action and financial inclusion.
Different areas, Greater Masaka, Greater Ruwero, Greater Mukono, Kayunga, Buyikwe, all those areas, their members were here. My role as a presidential assistant in charge of informal sector is to verify that these groups indeed exist, they are genuine, they are registered, and the members are undertaking the activities that they say they do. And I must say that I am really satisfied with the position and the performance of these associations, and I will recommend them further so that His Excellency the President can give them support in form of a revolving fund.
The Special Presidential Assistant later launched the pre-grow offices in the Nsanji Town Council, describing the milestone as an important step towards bringing services closer to communities and strengthening support for their informal sector.
We are hopeful that through this informal workers social protection scheme, we will be able to mobilize enough capital to undertake these projects for the benefit of the informal workers.
The function attracted several dignitaries, including security officials, the mayor of Chengera, local leaders, and representatives from different groups and organizations drawn from various parts of Uganda. Kenneth Tanaba compiled the story for UBC News.
The Minister for ICT, Information and National Guidance, Justin Kasule Lumumba, has commended media houses for promoting and prioritizing government programs. Lumumba was the chief guest at the 4th Uganda Editors Guild Convention 2026 in Jinja City, where she urged editors to uphold professionalism by avoiding misleading headlines and ensuring accuracy in news reporting.
For ICT, Information and National Guidance, Justin Kasule Lumumba has commended media houses for promoting and prioritizing government programs. Lumumba was chief guest at the 4th Uganda Editors Guild Convention 2026 in Jinja City, where she urged editors to uphold professionalism by avoiding misleading headlines and ensuring accuracy in news reporting.
I'm here to say thank you, but that does not also say I'm limiting you to that, because I can't mention everything here, because I want us to take more time discussing. As we begin a new term, we begin on new ways of working together, improving our relationship as private sector, including those in government.
The minister also praised the media for maintaining a strong partnership and collaboration with government in advancing national development and public awareness.
This should be a beginning of a discussion. Let's open a new page and we decide today what to write on that page. That is beneficial to me. Me means government, because it's human. You begin with yourself. You cannot give what you don't have to others. Then what is beneficial to you, but most importantly, what is beneficial to the sector and the country.
The director of the Uganda Media Center, Alan Kasuja, highlighting the significant role played by Uganda's media in promoting the country's socio-economic transformation through responsible journalism and public information.
The relationship between the media in Uganda and the government is a very important strategic relationship. We are allies, and this forum provides us an opportunity to understand each other. We are talking, we are engaging, we are sorting out our differences, and so it's a very important opportunity for us to interact with editors, because you don't find a gathering of more senior editors than this, than the ones we have in the room today.
Meanwhile, the secretary of the Uganda Editors Guild, Sylvia Nancha, called on government to harmonize the relationship between media practitioners and security agencies. She also emphasized the need to uphold the rule of law to enable journalists to perform their duties in a free and secure environment.
We have a constitution in this country. We have a number of laws that govern the profession of journalism, and international protocols that the government itself has ratified. So we know that if the constitution is followed, the international protocols are followed, and the laws of the land are followed, we are not going to have any conflicting situation.
Gertrude Naluboa, UBC.
And that brings us to the end of our 8 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. Do stay tuned for the 10 o'clock edition, which will be 1 hour long. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark. Dorothy Namuyomba is on sign language. From the team, allow us wish you a lovely one. And up next is the weekly business roundup.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.